Masterminds have been around for a long time, right? But unless you had a bunch of extra income to throw at it, you couldn't be a part of it. Well, we wanted to solve that problem. And so we're bringing masterminds to you for free. Welcome to Mastermind for the Masses. Brainstorming, right? We've spent a lot of this first season talking about principles. And while that's super valuable and you need that foundation, we've been talking about really wanting to talk to you next about practice. So in season 2, we're going to talk about how you can create those high performance habits and really take any skills that you have from possibly an immature state into a mature state. When does confidence become arrogance? When does influence cross the line into manipulation? And how can you best control those types of behaviors? We want to make sure that you can perform at a high level without tarnishing your reputation with personal or professional relationships. So Colby, Shan, what are you guys looking forward to as we move into this season here?
Yeah, honestly, Shan when we were brainstorming, just had a lot of really good ideas around specifically like sharing individual stories and sort of instances where we feel like we really leveled up certain attributes of our character up in our life to a point that it's became from like essentially a transition from being a liability or something that we were really weak at to something where we were strong at and could actually utilize as an asset. So for instance, like confidence, right? You don't graduate high school or college, and for most people you don't usually tend to feel confident. If anything, you're just kind of, maybe you're boastful and like trying to seem confident, but that internal state of actually being confident really isn't developed at that point. And mainly it's because like you don't have a lot of life experiences that would lend to you being confident, which makes a lot of sense, right? So we kind of want to focus in this season not just on like highlighting these individual attributes that'll help you be a high performer, but also how can you cultivate those attributes from like a zero state, so to speak, to something that you're actually like really good at, or at least a little bit better at, right? And help you kind of grow and develop yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
incremental growth is key. So Shan, what are you looking for, man?
No, honestly, everyone has their own story, and it's constantly filled with chapters that I feel like is a learning experience for everyone, right? So when we talk about those motivational habits or those high performance habits, like I'm always curious to see how, I don't know, a young Gary Vee may have developed his mindset or developed his habits based off of, just running a wine shop, like small different interpersonal stories and relationships people develop that kind of help them shape and become the people that they are. And specifically when it comes to people who are highly ambitious and motivated, I always think to myself, it's really valuable to kind of like share those stories and also present the challenges with it. Because when we observe these kind of podcasts or entertainment avenues, and we see kind of the end result, it gets us confused and it gets us curious about kind of how it was built upon. So I always enjoy the type of media or the type of content where people talk about their vulnerabilities, or at least they talk about like what their vulnerabilities were at the time and how they've overcome it. So for me, I think it's kind of limitless with the type of topics that we can go over in season 2, but it all has the same strong theme.
Yeah, definitely. So hopefully you can join us as we do some authentic exploration here and really build out. They say the difference between good and great is those small details. And that's what we want to dive into this season and really talk about how do you take your skills that you currently have and fine tune those into really precision instruments to give you the best chance of being successful and performing at those high levels. So join us every Monday. We'll be releasing a new episode with a new topic and really talking about how you can best build up your skills to be that high performer and develop those high performance habits. So can't wait to see you next week for our first episode of season 2 of Mastermind for the Masses. And be sure, like always, to share it with your friends because you're not going to want to let them miss out on this great opportunity either. We'll see you next week.